He's lining up for another three. By the hammer of Thor. The Vikings living by the hammer of three in the first quarter. Watch out, little fella. The bucket is good and Skeel's okay. North Medford wins to keep pressure on first place South Medford 70-50. I'm Aaron Nilsson with your sports. A legend now in the Black Tornado Wall of Fame, still keeping stats at 82 years old. Don Schneider says it's gratifying to work with the kids and develop long-term friendships over the years. And be sure to tune in every Wednesday for a full roundup of your sports right here on News 10. We'll be right back with another look at your News 10 7-day forecast. Well, now to the black and blue game on the girls' side of it. Players warming up and coaches having a good chat before it all goes down. That would make a civil war. South Medford's Ashley Bolston hits her first three of the game here. Kiari Sleazer and Andy Ritter, they also make some threes here. Andy Ritter, not related to John Ritter, both hit a three of their own to make it a threes company. Aaron Gordon picks up for the Magic and finishes the play with a windmill dunk. Gordon must love the Netherlands because he just went Dutch. And by the looks of it, he can pay his own way. Wow. Former Lady Panther and current Washington State Cougar Ashley Bolston knows this game is over and checks other scores on her phone. High school basketball is here, and News 10 is gearing up to get all of this week's action to you. Molly?
That's right, Aaron. We're going to have more scores and highlights covering your teams.
Friday Night Fast Breaks, tonight at 11:15, only on News 10.
Good to see you on our first night of Friday Night Fast Breaks this season. I'm Aaron Nilsson. This is Joe Brett. Got to get used to this again.
It's been a little while. It's time to get back in the saddle and get with it.
Yes, let's get right to it. We have some good games to show you tonight, of course, starting with Crater Boys taking on Marist at home tonight. That's tonight's game of the week. Good to see you on another night of Friday Night Fast Breaks. I'm Aaron Nilsson. This is Joe Brett, of course.
Let's get with it.
Why is it every time I go to Crater, it goes to overtime?
Because it's good for the ratings and it gives coaches gray hairs.
It's certainly exciting. It happened again tonight with the Lady Comets hosting the Springfield Millers. Good to see you on another night of Friday Night Fast Breaks. I'm Aaron Nilsson. This is Joe Brett. Woo! We really do have a buffet of games tonight, so let's hop to it. First off, the third-ranked team in 3A, Lakeview Honkers, rolled into Medford to take on St. Mary's, and that's tonight's game of the week. It's a tight one.
Yep.
Highlights from Cascade Christian and St. Mary's coming up next on Friday Night Fast Breaks. Good to see you on another night of Friday Night Football. I'm Aaron Nilsson. This is Joe Brett.
Hey, good night tonight.
We both witnessed blowouts tonight, Joe.
Yes, we did. Two good teams, too.
Very great teams. First, let's go to yours up in Grants Pass as South Medford made this short drive up north to take on the Cavemen. First, let's start with Boys Southwood Conference. Got tighter in the standings Tuesday night as first place South Medford lost at Grants Pass. That pushed North Medford to just one game behind the Panthers for first place. The Black Tornado hosting the Wolverines of Willamette tonight in Tornado Alley. 24-17 North, closing minutes of the first half. The drive and kick out from Tyron Wolf to Joey Hunter for three. 31-20 at the half. And there's Table Rock Sports and Demi DeSoto doing their halftime show, pointing out, I'm sure, some things needed to change on the court. The third quarter now, Will High's Noah Burke in the lane with the turnaround short shot for two, but right back down the court, and Kason Faust with the bucket and one. And Deja Vu, Seth Skeel hits the three for the Wolverines, and then Faust comes right back down the length of the court. Watch out, little fella. The bucket is good and Skeel's okay. North Medford wins to keep pressure on first place South Medford 70-50. Monmouth Union Pelicans making the long trip across town to take on Mazama. The Vikings look to avenge a 16-point loss to the Pelicans 2 weeks ago. Christian Munson, number 32, with the long two for KU. Student section allowed tonight. You can hear them girls and boys games. Riley Hinshaw for Mazama for three. And Hinshaw again for three. And Brady Ford gets a tough two and rolls it in for Klamath Union. And again, Hinshaw, he's lining up for another three. By the hammer of Thor, the Vikings living by the hammer of three in the first quarter, down 13-11 after one, but the Pelicans don't get out of Valhalla alive and lose 57-48. Also, North Valley whips up on Phoenix, winning by 30. And to the girls, the Lady Vikings hosting the Lady Pels, 46-22 Mazama heading into the third. Heading into the fourth. How do you get two offensive rebounds and score a bucket on the same play? Let Mercedes Paschal show us how. Right there.
A couple of her 16 points.
And Paschal with the jumper from the free throw line, extending the Lady Vikings lead. Then Aspen Smith finds Landy Williams open down low for the easy two. And off the steal, KU on the run, and Carissa Chukalo sends up a prayer to the Norse gods. It's answered for 2. And Amber Lee sees the ball hanging up and says, "Mine! Look what I can do." The easy 2. The final, 57-32, and another conference win. This was our game of the week. A great night for football at Mel Ingram Field with Grants Pass leading 17-0. Javon Appling throws a 10-yard touchdown pass to Jarrett Musser, make it 24-0 Cavemen.
Boy, Javon Appling is a smooth quarterback, as you'll see.
South Medford's Josh Hall finds some running room up the middle, but he met by a big hit from the Caveman's Kyle Nicholas. Grants Pass looking for even more points before halftime. Appling finds Keegan Weiss for a 27-yard touchdown catch and run. Makes it 31-0 Grants Pass at halftime.
Yeah, Keegan Weiss and Musser both had 2 touchdowns in the first half. On his way to a 6-touchdown night passing the ball, and Appling can run with it as well.
Appling here gets a big gain running the ball down the sideline. Look who it is, Joe Brett.
Witnessing a pretty good performance by the Cavemen.
Yeah, it's you in the booth. Later in the third quarter, Appling passes Easton Benz for a 29-yard touchdown. It's 38-0 Grants Pass. The Cavemen shut out the Panthers 52-0. Tyner came up big tonight for the Spartans. Next, the Comets get a steal as number 0 Christian Reyes uses his wheels to sprint down the court for an easy lay-in. Then it's back on defense. Spartans number 5, Ben Olive, looking for options before finding number 14 Nick Mack as he penetrates the defense to lay it in for 2 points. But the real story, not 1, not 2, but even 3, not even 3, 4 3-pointers for number 12 Gunnar Asher, and that was just in the first quarter. Final score in this one, Crater 63 and Marist 42.
News 10's Aaron Nilsson is live outside of Autzen Stadium with more on another exciting Civil War matchup.
Good evening, Dave, and greetings from Eugene. We are here outside of Autzen Stadium. It feels like it's 1 degree out here, give or take 30 probably, but there are still people lingering around. This was my first Civil War matchup, my first time inside Autzen Stadium, and this game surely must be an instant classic. It was Oregon State who got on the board first drive of the game. They had the ball very first, even before the Ducks ever got their paws on it. It was then Oregon, the Ducks, who went on to score 31 unanswered points. They led at halftime 31-7. It was about to be the kind of game everyone expected it to be. But then Oregon State came back. It was a really crazy game in the end. It ended up only winning by 10 points for the Oregon Ducks, 52-42. And Oregon head coach Mark Helfrich said there was never a point when he was concerned with the outcome.
There's not a point of, oh no. There's a point of pointing out what's happening, right, and identifying what's happening and fixing it. You know, oh no doesn't solve anything. Main things to clean up, but I think that's the key to anything, right? It is knowing what happened, knowing why it happened, and fixing it, and good or bad.
The Beavers actually outscored and typically really what you could say is won the second half. They scored 35 points to Oregon's 21. If it wasn't for that goose egg of 0 points in the second quarter by the Beavers, this could have been a very different game. Coming up tonight on News 1011, we'll have highlights for you, full highlights of this game. And the Ducks now, they're waiting to find out their fate for what bowl game they'll play in. Covering your sports live in Eugene at Autzen Stadium, Aaron Nilsson, News 10. Thank you, Demi. Later on tonight on News 10 at 6, I'll have a preview of the other games and highlights we'll have for you tonight on Friday Night Fast Breaks. Covering your sports live in Medford, Aaron Nilsson, News 10.
Medford News 10's Aaron Nilsson is at St. Mary's High School. Aaron?
Trish, Dave, it is halftime here between the Crusaders and Lakeview Honkers. I'm not going to give you the score. I'm not going to give it all away on this one, but you might be able to see it over my shoulder. We will have the highlights tonight on Friday Night Fast Breaks. We'll have a buffet of games tonight, really, on the show, starting with boys and girls North Medford teams. Thurston Colts visit the girls' Black Tornado, and Tristan Holmes and company for the boys head up to Thurston High School. Grants Pass and Sheldon face off. Boys are at home for the Cavemen up, and the girls travel to take on the Irish up north. We'll have both boys and girls Crater Comets teams as they take on Churchill, boys at home and girls on the road. The Phoenix Pirates host both boys and girls games tonight against the Henley Hornets. The fun doesn't stop there. We'll show the Mazama Vikings taking on the North Valley Knights. Ashland Grizzlies girls heading to Springfield to take on the Millers. Rounds out our show tonight. Again, check out the highlights here between St. Mary's and Lakeview. We'll have that and plenty more, as I just mentioned, tonight on Friday Night Fast Breaks after News 10 at 11. Covering your sports live in Medford. Aaron Nilsson, News 10.
Lights, Aaron?
First, Dave, the JV North Medford Willamette game is going on right behind me. Fourth quarter, 46-39. 4 minutes left in this one. Varsity North Medford Willamette tips off just around 7. Both teams looking for their first conference win tonight. We'll have this game and more tonight on Friday Night Fast Breaks. Let's check out the other games and highlights we'll have for you tonight. On the boys' side, we got Henley and Sayus-Lot, the SkyWest versus Skyline tournament in Myrtle Creek. Also at that tournament, the Mazama Vikings battle the Bruins of Brookings Harbor. North Valley Knights takes on the Pirates of Marshfield. And our game of the week, Marist Catholic heads to Central Point to take on the Crater Comets. On the girls' side of the court, Kiari Sleazer, Andy Ritter, and the South Medford Panthers host the Thurston Colts. This is the first home game of the year for South Medford as they are home after two challenging tournaments in California last month. Again, North Medford Willamette tips off just around 7. We'll see you tonight on Friday Night Fast Breaks, covering your sports live in Medford. Aaron Nilsson, News 10.
Aaron?
Trish, Dave, good evening and a good Friday for another night of Friday Night Fast Breaks here at South Medford. JV game still going on. South Medford, South Eugene. Top two teams, Southwest Conference. For more insight into this game, I have my partner in crime on Friday Night Fast Breaks, Joe Brett. Joe, welcome.
Good to be here, Aaron.
What should we watch out for from South Eugene tonight?
Well, South Eugene Open League play with a win at North Medford. Keep an eye on that trio of players that really were essential in that win. They scored 51 of the 70 points for the Axemen. That was Eli Leininger, Mason Green, Richard, and Sean O'Neill. Those three will have to be kept in check tonight for the Panthers to hang in.
And what about the situation for South Medford? What's going on with them?
Well, another new starting lineup tonight. Cameron English, their big man, who's been the solid force for the Panthers this year, out 3 straight games. He should be back tonight. Hunter Bradford, on the other hand, a concussion Tuesday against North, probably out till February. So it's a piecemeal lineup. The Panthers rely on their bigs. Josh Washington played well against North. He'll have to again tonight.
Should be a good one. As you said, top two teams, Southwest Conference. Coming up later tonight on News 10 at 6, I'll have a rundown of other highlights we'll show you tonight on Friday Night Fast Breaks. Thank you, Joe.
Got it.
Covering your sports in Medford live, I'm Aaron Nilsson, News 10.
Aaron Nilsson is live in Medford for the Black Tornado game against the Colts. Aaron.
Dave, unlike the Oregon Ducks, the Black Tornado are still undefeated, facing that 1-3 Thurston Colts team, hoping to give North Medford their first loss of the season. Dave, it is another great night here at Spiegelberg Stadium in Medford, in the Valley. Beautiful, not much wind. Football should fly tonight. It is homecoming game for North Medford, which usually brings added pressure to win the game. Black Tornado beat South Eugene last week big, 69-6, really bringing down the axe on the Axemen. The Thurston Colts come into Medford with that 1-3 record, as I said, losing last week to another undefeated team in the Cavemen of Grants Pass. Grants Pass beat Thurston 49-10 last week, but despite the record and the loss last week by nearly 40 points, Black Tornado coach Mike Mitchell says he's not overlooking the Colts and what they're actually capable of. Coming up tonight on News 10 at 6, Demi DeSoto will join me for a more in-depth look at this game, keys to the game, and how Thurston can take down this undefeated North Medford team. Covering your sports live in Medford, Aaron Nilsson, News 10. The SOU Raiders are going to the National Football Championship, and Butler Ford is sending me along with the team.
Whoa there, Aaron. Grover's is sending me along with the team.
Go Raiders!
Hey, Will, looks like we're both going.
Watch all the Raiders coverage starting Wednesday on News 10.
We'll be there right up through the game on Saturday.
Because News 10 is your connection to Raiders football coverage. Grover's and Butler, too.
Follow the SOU Raiders to the championship, only on News 10.
Aaron Nilsson are also there with the city welcoming the fans. Hey, guys.
Dave, Trish, greetings from Daytona Beach, Florida. Will, nice to be here, of course. Still,
yes,
a lot of stuff going on, as you talked about. Very busy. And right behind us, they just made this today. You see the stand. They got the SOU Raiders, NAIA, of course, and Marian University. Very professional. They had a pep rally here, ended. People are still lingering. It ended about a half hour ago. One big thing we've noticed press conference this morning, coaches, parents, any fans who are here, the city, apparently, Daytona Beach has been wonderful to them. Even so good for them and how they've treated all the players and both teams. It really is just almost like a bowl game. It's really good for them.
Yeah, it's very impressive. Everybody is saying great things about Daytona Beach.
News 10's Aaron Nilsson is live in Daytona Beach with more on how the team came together to get them to the championship. Aaron.
Good evening, Dave. Good evening, Trish. Southern Oregon University brings together players really from all across the West Coast. 2 of those players on the team are from rival schools, North Medford and South Medford. 2 players on Southern Oregon University's football team started out enemies playing the same game. Junior wide receiver Matt Retzloff played for the South Medford Panthers. Senior wide receiver Jeremy Scotto was a North Medford Black Tornado.
You know what, growing up, we've always played AAU basketball against each other. We played football against each other in Pop Warner, and he ended up going to North, and I went to South. his first year, he went down to Azusa Pacific and then transferred when I became a freshman at Southern Oregon. And we roomed together that fall camp because he didn't really know too many guys on the team.
Matt was great to compete with in high school. I mean, he really pushed me to become better because, I want to try to be better than the cross-team rivalry.
Now they've worn the same uniform for 3 seasons. Retzloff says they still talk about high school and their rivalry.
He always mentioned for some reason when I was a safety in high school and he was a receiver that he would always he caught a touchdown pass over me in his senior year, and he'll never let that down.
Retzloff is the reason Scotto was even at SOU.
I transferred up here from Azusa, hearing that he was going to Southern Oregon. I was like, that's a guy I could be a teammate with. And so, it's the best decision I've ever made, and he's made me a better athlete, and I hope I've made him a better athlete.
They become close friends over the years and fight for each other on and off the field.
It's good. I love him to death. He's one of our seniors, and I'm going to do everything that it takes to make sure he gets his last college win this Saturday.
It's been great being his teammate. The competition, both in high school and then in practice, has been great. Just made us both better.
But playing on the same team doesn't change their roots. They still root for the alma mater. Matt always a Panther, and Jeremy.
Of course, yeah, it's got to go with the Black Tornado.
A win on Saturday gives them 2 national titles together as teammates, highlights in their history of black and blue. Coming up tonight on News 10 at 11, we spoke with head coach Craig Howard for SOU, and he'll express his appreciation for all the fans landing here in Florida. With your connection to SOU Raiders football, live in Daytona Beach, Aaron Nilsson, News 10.
All right. Thanks, Austin. We'll be right back with your News 10 7-day forecast.
I'm Aaron Nilsson with your sports. A legend now in the Black Tornado Wall of Fame, still keeping stats at 82 years old. Don Schneider says it's gratifying to work with the kids and develop long-term friendships over the years. A 2014 inductee into the Medford Black Tornado Wall of Fame. Don Schneider played American Legion baseball in 1948, 49, and 50. He graduated from Medford High School in 1951. He's been the general manager for the Medford Mustangs baseball team since 1989.
We've won 9 state championships in those years and been to the American Legion World Series 4 different times and finished as a national runner-up twice, which is a pretty good accomplishment. Not a lot of programs can say that.
He's been a volunteer team statistician for North Medford's football, basketball, and baseball teams for nearly 30 years.
I'm waiting for my first paycheck.
Current Black Tornado boys basketball team coach Scott Plankenhorn is Schneider's nephew. His grandson is about to head to South Medford to become a Panther, which means he'll need to leave the comforts of home.
Kind of torn what I'm gonna be doing. It's gonna be hard to. I got to go follow my grandson, so I'm sure I'll have to give up my work at North Medford.
Schneider goes wherever the teams go, but he doesn't want to let go. He says even though at 82 years old he'll start to do less and less, stats and sports will always be a part of him, an interest ignited while in 7th grade.
I used to go to baseball games and to see the Dodgers play many, many times each year, and I'd keep score at those games. I mean, I can't watch a game without keeping score.
Schneider hands the reins over to Paul White to continue the decades of success with the Mustangs. The United States and Panama tied 1-1 in the final game of Group A in the Gold Cup. Both teams advanced to the quarters with the result, the U.S. winning the group before the game even began. The quarterfinals stadiums, the U.S. plays the third-place team in either Group B or C. And be sure to tune in every Wednesday for a full roundup of your sports right here on News 10. We'll be right back with another look at your News 10 7-day forecast. A 74-48 loss in the 6A title game in Portland was a hard pill to swallow for South Medford.
It's a hard team to beat, and just got to come back next year harder.
Right from the tip, it was Westland's Jaden Grant with a pass to the driving Will Matheson for a dunk. The Lions continued the pressure, scoring basket after basket after basket, leading 25-2 after the first quarter.
Like I told one of my assistants, we went to the gunfight with a knife, and they had a bazooka, and it wasn't close, and I was afraid that might happen.
For the Panthers, it was miss after miss after miss. Head coach Dennis Murphy says it wasn't because of playing 3 intense games in 3 days and a lack of energy.
I know we didn't shoot to miss, but we were a little nervous. There's no question about it, and that's a big stage. And our kids haven't been there before, and you're looking at a team that's not only been there, but they've won the darn thing 3 years in a row.
A good second quarter offensively and defensively for the Panthers, including this buzzer-beating 3 by Askari Carter. Put them in good position for a second-half comeback, only down 34-19. The hope was short-lived as Westland, led by Oregon Ducks commit Peyton Pritchard, asserted talent and energy, looking like a well-oiled machine. But Panther pride would not be extinguished.
We never quit. That's the thing I love about this team. We're a family. We never gave up on each other, and I just love all these guys to death. I mean, it would have been better with the win, but we always wanted to play here, and we're just happy we got here.
Caleb Franklin poured in 15 points and added 3 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals.
Murph said from the beginning, you always play bigger on a bigger stage. So I just didn't leave anything out here at all. I just emptied my tank out here. So I just had to do it for Murph. It's his last year.
Franklin says they had high expectations coming into the season.
We expected to get a Final 8. We never expected to play a team like Westland, and hats go off to them. They're a great team.
The team finished at 27-3, ranking them among the elite teams in Medford history and right there with Murphy's best team.
I love my kids, and they just play with such great heart, and so I'm happy for them and what they've accomplished, and there's no question I would have liked to win, but sometimes that just doesn't happen.
Connor Carroll got second team all-tournament team for the Panthers. Hunter Bradford was a unanimous selection for the first team. Murphy says he's had it really good at the school with loads of support and spoiled with the collection of kids who've come through the program.
And nobody supports high school athletics like Medford and the community, our school administration. I got great assistant coaches. It won't hit me for a long time, I'm sure of that, and it'll be tough, I know it will, but got to turn your focus on to these kids and who they are and what they've done, and that's what we'll do.